Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 100-year celebration of magic here in Atlanta, Georgia.
That was made so long ago. And then I was like, don't give it to me yet. We're going to come there mid-year.
You can bring your chairs up. We do have a bit of a gap up front here for you to sit down and see the show a little closer. If not, stay where you're at. It's all good. Either way, one of the two. We have another chairs. Never mind about the extra chair part. You know, when the music stops. Okay, we're going to roll right into this. And I want to say thank you for everybody coming in and being so accommodating. And I know it's a little chaotic, but we're going to start things off because when you have chaos, you need law and order. In that progression. Well, I got a guy who not only can heal you, but he can hurt you too. Didn't even know he was coming. They might call him old painless at home. But no. He's Dr. Joel Batman Zaritsky, and he's here.
Yeah, true story. So basically, I was not supposed to be here until a week ago when I got an email saying people who are going to be in this show, and one of them was Dr. Joel Zaritsky. So my wife saw the email and she goes, well, I guess we're flying to Atlanta. Thank her. So I'm here not necessarily to do magic, but to act as a director, to help along the magic. And about 100 years ago, I think Rudyard Kipling said it best. Well, that we are the opening verse of the opening paragraph of the chapter of endless possibilities. Now, Rod, I'd like to invite you up here to help me out. I'm over here, and a fellow Georgian, Jan Goodself, you know, past national president. Come over side here. Watch out, everybody. So we're doing the past national president stuff here. So I want to give you each some cards here, and we're going to make sure that you both have the same number of cards. But just face down, mix them up. Okay. Mix them up there for you, Jan. I'm going to have you do the same thing. I'm going to give you a set of cards here. Face down, just mix them up a little bit there too. Fantastic. Now, we're going to make sure we have the same number of cards, so I'm going to have you just count for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thank you so much. Now, I'm going to grab you an envelope here, and if you can look inside, make sure that there's nothing inside there at all. Absolutely. Fantastic. So I'm going to have you take your cards, put that right in there for me, 10 cards. Now, close it up, because I don't want to get in there. I don't want to sneak in there. all the way from Canada. I want you getting in there. Hold on to it tight so you don't get into it. Excellent. Rod, we're going to do the same thing here too.
And that makes it funnier.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. You have 10 as well. Now, Rod, you've done a lot of magic in your life. So you're going to actually be doing magician. Like I said, I'm just the director here. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing the magic. So Rod, that's why I have these guys up here with me. I'm going to have you fan out the cards face down.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to have you go into the audience.
Yeah.
Get 3 people.
Okay.
I want 3 people to pick a card. When you pick a card, memorize it. Burn it in your brain. But do not show Rod. Do not show Jan. And don't show me. You can show to other people around you. But remember that card. So Rod, go right ahead. 3 people. Again, look at your card, memorize it. Yeah, take it. Yep, you can take it. You can take it. Look at your card. Roll up your cards. Fantastic. You got it. Still doing the magician here. Go, bring it back in. Okay, now put it back in. Face down. Face down.
Anywhere?
Anywhere. And one more. Perfect. Face down. And Rod, as you're coming back, I want you to face down, mix up the cards. So again, you don't know where their cards are. I don't know where they are. Jan especially. Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna put them in the manila envelope here. And Rod, I'm gonna have you take the manila envelope, hold it real tight.
Okay.
You have 10 cards.
Yep.
You have 10 cards. Here comes the magic, and like I said, I'm just the director. Now, most of you probably know I'm a New Yorker. So, I had to bring somebody from New York to come help me do the magic. And I happened to bring with me angry Yankee player. And he is angry because last season lost the World Series to the LA Dodgers in a dramatic fashion. Still angry. Very angry man. So, we're going to do some magic here. One card. Two cards. God, there's your duck. 3 cards. 3 cards have transferred from Rod all the way to Jen. Thank you, angry Yankee man. Rod, no one got into that. I didn't get into your cards.
No.
Open your cards up, please. Okay. Okay. Now let's count how many cards you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
7.
Oh.
7. Wait a minute. No one got into this, right?
No,
Oh, let's open it up. Let's take a look.
that's a lot more cards.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wait a minute. Hold on to this. There's more. It's like a Renko commercial. So you went out, 3 people picked cards there too. What card did you choose?
5 of diamonds.
5 of diamonds. Where's your 5 of diamonds?
That's not here.
Jay?
I have a 5 of diamonds.
And you chose a card.
4 of clubs.
4 clubs.
It's not here.
I have a 4 of clubs.
Pick it last one. 7 of clubs, Rob.
I don't have it. I don't have it.
Guess who?
Thank you very much. Oh, and Mano wanted me to tell you, we still have two SAM giant books, history books left for you to purchase.
See me at the end.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Oh, before I go, a lot of you are probably saying, why is he wearing this? Well, I'm a big Batman fan. Carol Garrett just gave this to me. This was Dan Garrett's.
Yeah.
And it goes very well with the Batman watch that Gene Protus just gave me as well. Thank you so much. I'm very glad.
Joel Batman Zaritsky! Oh, man. All right, well, let's just keep this going. Our next performer, someone I could just keep talking about on and on and on and on and on. I won't. But he's raring to go. He's going to delight your ears and eyes. Could I get a huge round of applause for Mike Heckenberger?
Thank you. Oh, not that tall, but see if I can adjust this a little bit. Oh, there you go. Okay. The other mic. This on? Is on.
Yes.
As my mentor, Bart Simpson, he's older than he looks, would say to the audience as he gets ready to throw the cherry bomb in the boys' bathroom toilet, I'm a sucker for this classics. And this is a classic. Can I steal a chair from something? The rings. It uses 6 rings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rings. Now I know we just had a really wonderful meal and we had some cake, and it's in the middle of the afternoon, so let's keep it easy and just start with 2, okay? If I take these rings and make a magical movement, I'm not sure really what that means, it creates the illusion, and I do stress illusion, that the rings are linked, because we all know that's impossible. Okay? To get them apart, now I learned this trick in the 70s when I was still in high school. And my instructor taught me the brute force method. Not that I was much of an athletic person or not, but it went something like this. He said, concentrate on the place where the weld is, and just focus on that, kind of like a karate move in a way. It went something like this. I always show this to my friends, and they'd say, Mike, there's a hole in the ring. I go, of course it is, 10 inches wide. How could you miss it? How could you miss that? Let's start over again. We got 1, 2, 3. Thank you. I know it was kind of fast. We'll do the next one a little slower, okay? Kind of Mickey Mouse if you think about it. I just realized that's the closest I've been to Disney World using that line. Still kind of Mickey Mouse. I'll be honest, this is my favorite part. I was a B-52 navigator for 13 years, and we had a saying that what goes up must come down. In magic, it's what goes on must come off. Actually, I just made that up. Now we can start making some interesting designs. Or not so interesting designs. I'll just take that part a little bit for now. Thank you. Whoa. Warning, Will Rogers. Let me retract a little bit. I'm gonna put this over. Tell you what, we go back over here. I wasn't expecting that at all. No, it's like the Spanish Inquisition, right? Okay. Let me go ahead and just, for those who missed the beginning of it, okay, we'll go through this pretty quick, I hope. Yeah. Oh, thank you for not helping gravity. My nose. 4 or 5 on 1. One like that. Finally, the last 3. Where's that Mickey Mouse again? And that's the reason.
Keep it going for mine. All right, we're going to switch things up a little bit and do a little something, a historical magic at this point. John Miller is going to give us a brief history of the SAM, the ASM here in Atlanta, the Atlanta Society of Magicians, and about our founding fathers. John Miller.
I'd like to join my compeers in welcoming all the dignitaries to our 100th anniversary of the Julian B. Bain, Walter S. Bell Assembly. And I'm just going to present, or I will present in a minute, a very brief history of the club. But in doing my research and preparing this, I came across something I found very interesting, and I think you'll find very interesting. This is a biography of Julian Bain, written by Walter Bell in 1983. And I learned some things about our namesake that I didn't know, and I think some of you may not know. Julian Victor Bain was born in Chicago, Illinois, over 100 years ago on August 10, 1877. He moved to New York as a young man and was frequently a participant with a small group of magicians who gathered in the back room of Martinka's Magic Shop, the birthplace of the Society of American Magicians. In 1902, Julian became one of the early members of the SAM. Meanwhile, Julian moved to Atlanta, Georgia, where he became an agent for the Union Central Life Insurance Company of New York in 1904. He soon became one of the most successful and best-known life insurance agents in Atlanta. His skill as a magician helped him to achieve success in his chosen profession. In 1907, another magician... Is that better?
Your mic is
Okay,
on.
that's better.
Mike's out.
We good now? Okay, in 1907, another magician, Dr. F.E. Vanderveer, moved to Atlanta. Dr. Vanderveer already knew Julian Boehm, having met him at an SAM initiation meeting in New York around 1903. These two gentlemen got together frequently to discuss magic. By 1924, there were several other magicians in Atlanta, and in September of that year, they all gathered together in the home of Julian on Myrtle Street and organized the Atlanta Society of Magicians. Julian became one of the best-known magicians in America. His home was always open to visiting magicians, and all the great performers of that era always came to see Julian when they were in Atlanta. An indication of how famous Mr. Boehm became is the fact that he was called on at least 3 times to perform for President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Julian was not only a successful businessman and a great magician, he was an outstanding civic leader. He helped found the Community Chest, what is now known as United Way. He was the leader in at least 3 Red Cross campaigns and the first president of the Civitan Club of Atlanta. He served as president of many other organizations in Atlanta and became a national officer in both the Society of American Magicians and the International Brotherhood of Magicians. In 1935, he was designated as, quote, Outstanding Man of the Year by the Atlanta Chamber of Commerce. Another indication of his greatness was his selection as a Master of Ceremonies for the world premiere of Gone with the Wind. He performed his duties with great dignity and expertise. Julian received so many other honors, it is impossible to list them all in short history. A little parenthetical here that's not in this, but if you ever watch any of the documentaries on the premiere of Gone with the Wind, you'll see 3 people standing. Vivian Lee is here, Clark Gable is here, and there's a man in between them they never identify. That's Julian Boehm.
Wow.
Okay, above all other attributes, Julian Victor Boehm was a humanitarian of the highest order. He was always ready to help his fellow man in need, whether it be medical, financial, social, or spiritual. He sought out people in need and then found the people who could fulfill the need and saw that it was fulfilled. There was probably no one man in Atlanta who helped so many people as did Julian. In 1957, the Atlanta Society of Magicians honored Julian by assuming the name, quote, Julian Boehm Assembly Number 30 of the Society of American Magicians. On February 24th, 1960, at the age of 82, Julian Boehm died and was buried in Crestlawn Cemetery in Atlanta. His death came as a great shock to his many friends and was marked for history by numerous articles and editorials in that paper. It is the expectation of the Atlanta Society of Magicians that Julian Boehm's love for magic and his fellow men will continue to live in the lives of our membership. Quite a legacy of these left. Apologize in advance for the second part because some of it is redundant from what I just read. These were written by 2 different people at 2 very different times. This is a brief history of the Atlanta Society. Julian Victor Boehm was born in Chicago, Illinois, over 100. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Okay. 13 magicians founded the Society of American Magicians in the back room of Martinka's Magic Shop in New York City in 1902. Dr. F.E. Vanderveer of New York and Julian Boehm of Atlanta were initiated into the society at that time. These 2 men formed the Atlanta Society of Magicians. In 1907, Dr. Vanderveer moved to Atlanta and renewed his acquaintance with Julian Boehm. They were the only 2 known magicians in Atlanta at that time. Sherwood Bludgett moved to Atlanta in 1919 and met Messrs. Boehm and Vanderveer. Several more magicians were added to this group over the next few years, and it was decided they had enough men to form the Atlanta Society of Magicians as an affiliate of the Society of American Magicians. The first meeting took place September 26, 1924, at the home of Julian Boehm on Myrtle Street, and the Atlanta Society of Magicians was born. Charter members were Shirley Bludgett, Julian Boehm, Dr. F.E. Vanderveer, J. Edgar Honeycutt, and Kenneth S. Keyes. Membership eventually included several high-profile Atlantans, such as Asa Candler of Coca-Cola fame, and Dr. Ralph Hefner, Dean of the Engineering College at Georgia Tech. It was stated that the object of this organization shall be to promote good fellowship, to encourage social relations among its members, to foster and develop magic as an art, to encourage originality and invention, to discourage expose, and provide entertainment for its members and friends. Unquote. The Constitution and bylaws were formally adopted on November 25th, 1924, 100 years ago. The society membership was to be by invitation only and open only to, quote, magicians of acknowledged standing. Dante was playing Atlanta at that time, and the 5th meeting It was held in his honor. This was the first meeting in which members were invited to bring wives and other guests. This was the start of making the Atlanta Society a social as well as a magic club. The initiation ritual was written in December 1925 by Messrs. Vanderveer, Bludgett, and Honeycutt, and the first initiation ceremony was conducted on January 26, 1926. The first annual show was held March 2nd, 1929 in the Pompeian Room of the Biltmore Hotel. Admission was by invitation only, and there were several newspaper articles praising the benefit shows done by the society. Now, a brief word about the men for whom our society is named. Julian Bain was a civic leader and prominent businessman of Atlanta. He was chosen to be the official host of Atlanta during the premiere of Gone with the Wind. Walter Bell's obituary in the Atlanta paper stated that Walter was the second most knowledgeable person about the history of Atlanta, exceeded only by Atlanta's official historian, Mr. Franklin Garrett. The following is excerpted from a speech given by Dr. Vanderveer on November 15, 1938. Quote, "It is my belief that the Atlanta Society of Magicians has a long and brilliant future ahead of it. May those in whose hands its further guidance is placed be blessed with wisdom and abiding reverence for the magic art and faith in the mission we so sincerely represent." So they've left us quite a legacy. Thank you.
Thank you, John. All right, we're going to do a little technical change here real super duper quick while Stan gets that done. Our next performer is, of course, a close personal friend of mine. Here, well, he was here local in Atlanta until somebody made him a better offer up there in Tennessee. I'm not bitter. I'm a little bitter. But Joe has been a staple here in the Atlanta magic community. He has been 4 times magician, Greater Magician, Atlanta Magician of the Year, the International Brotherhood of Magician President. He's done Atlanta Magic Night. Wow, that was quick. Okay. He has done so much for the art of magic that it's an honor and a privilege to introduce you guys to my good friend, Joe M. Turner.
Good afternoon. What an honor to be here with all of you and to be invited to entertain you for the next 12 minutes using a number of the skills and abilities that kept me from dating in high school. When I was a kid, I wanted to learn how to do magic. All the books said you should start by taking some change from your mom's purse or your dad's dresser, put it on the back of your hand, just open and close it, see if you could do that without dropping the coin. And just developing a sense of balance and spatial awareness and the musculature of the hand. And the book said put it on the first finger, try to lift the second finger, pull it vertical, and let it flip over to the next finger, and to do that all the way across the hand. Okay? The book said if you did this every day for 5 or 10 minutes, like an exercise, over time it would get smoother and faster and faster and smoother. And the book said if you did it long enough, people would clap. Well, apparently you couldn't see, so let me just... Oh, very good, all right. Yep. Yep, I'm glad you like it. 11 minutes to go. Yeah, my friends were like you. They were like, oh, it's interesting, but it's not really magic, is it? It's more like juggling. Magic is when something that you're looking at goes one place and reappears somewhere else. Oh, thank you. I'll do it again for those who missed it there and there. My friends were like you. They were like, it's really not magic, is it? Clearly, you're using sleight of hand. You're concealing the coin somehow between your fingers or up your sleeve or behind your hand. If only you had some barrier, a barrier made of steel or titanium or silk, so that when you put the coin in your hand, we would know it's not going through your fingers, it's not going up your sleeve, it's not going to the back of your hand. Then and only then, if the coin disappeared, might we believe it was magic. Thank you very much. That's it right there. A good trick for a 6-year-old. So yeah, not much action in high school. But when I got to college, and I could get invited to parties. This is in case the rest of the set doesn't go well. I really don't have a lot of time with you today, but I would like to share with you something that I think you'll find interesting. In order to do it, I need to borrow someone who's got a working cell phone. Now, I will say that I did speak to one person beforehand, but we did not do any installation of anything, but we just verified, you verified, that you've got data coverage. Can I ask you to help me, Karen? A round of applause for Karen. She comes right up here, standing right next to me. Thank you for helping. If I could ask you just to open your browser. Open your browser, and while you're doing that, in your mind's eye, just think of a, well, how about this? Let me ask someone I don't know. What's your name? Cricket, with a K or a C? With a C. It's so interesting. I had coffee yesterday with a woman named Cricket with a K. If you saw my Facebook, you saw that. It's very interesting. So, Cricket, could I ask you just in your mind, roll a die? Roll a die, just a single 6-sided die. We're not playing craps or Dungeons and Dragons or any of that. Just very simple. And you've got a number in mind. Would you just reach into this deck and take out a card that has that number on it? Got it? Very good. That's just to keep you from either forgetting or changing your mind. So you've got that. So we'll come back to that just a little bit later. Have you got your browser open? We're going to use, it's Chrome. It's Chrome. We'll see if I can do it. Let's see. We're going to go to a place on the internet where you can learn a lot of things, many of which are true. And you may recognize it. It's Wikipedia. It's Wikipedia. It is the free encyclopedia that anyone can edit. And this is a good way to spend an afternoon when you're supposed to be doing real work and chasing yourself down a little rabbit hole because you never know what you're going to find. And you may be familiar with the way it works. You scroll through and you see all the links and one to an article to another. So I'm going to put a little something in here. We're going to see if you remember something about me. I know we've met before. We're going to put in something. I'm going to stick it in here. Let me, so you can see what I put in. Question, trivia question. Do you know what college I went to?
I should, because you posted.
I post a lot. Anybody know? Mississippi State. Very good, very good. That's Mississippi. Okay, so you know how it works. You put in something that you're looking at, and then you scroll through, and all the blue dots, all the blue links take you to other articles. So I'd like you to we'll use the search, if you'll take that, just type in, don't hit enter, but just type in maybe your school or your favorite subject in school or a famous author or a historical figure. And it's okay if I see who it is. We're not going to judge you. Don't hit enter, just Barry. Oh, you went to Barry. We're going to see if you let it, then just click on where it says Barry. And it loads up and it goes to that. I'd like you to scroll through and open up one of the other sections and scroll through and click on a blue link. Any blue link?
What a real link.
Okay, just there's one there. Okay. Very good. So so this is a singing group. That's very good. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to continue to follow a stream of consciousness by clicking on links. So click on one of the blue links. What did you click on? What did you click on there?
Chancel.
Chancel. Chancel. And click on another. We're just going to do this quickly.
Baseball.
Baseball.
Mammal.
I do have to be able to keep up with the writing. Okay, that's another one.
Ammonia.
Ammonia. I was a physics guy, not a chemistry guy. Take it easy on me. What's next?
Star.
Star. Now we're talking. I was an astrophysics guy. So there. What's next?
Engineering.
Engineering. Okay. Let's do a couple more really quick.
Painting.
Painting. And I think I'm running out of room, so what's one more?
Rice.
Rice. Is that a university or the actual vegetable starch?
Grain.
Cereal grain, very good. So here we have a list of, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items that you've chosen at random from Wikipedia, starting on your own alma mater. Do you see that these things have anything in common? No, well, I mean, there's some science stuff going on here, and but here's the thing: we're not always aware of the way that we can be influenced by other people, the environment, and the things that we share, the influences that we can have on each other. In fact, before we started this entire adventure, I asked Cricket to think of a random number. What was the number? 3. Drei for the German speakers in the room. If we take a look at the third letter, we have an A, S, M, M, A, G, I, C. And just by good fortune and your random choices, perhaps influenced by the people and places and event that we're celebrating today, Karen has helped me celebrate ASM Magic 100th anniversary. Round of applause for Karen. You can go back to Cricket, thanks for your help. You guys are great. My name is Joe Turner. Thank you very much.
That was awesome. I love that trick. I told him to do that one. I hope you guys like that. One more time for Joe Turner. All right, our next guy. You know him. You already know him. You brought him here. And that was amazing. He's already made a great piece of art, and now he's going to do even more art right now. It's the one, the only, John Midgely!
Thank you, Murl. Thank you so much. I'm actually just kind of the sherbet in between your two main courses, right? So I'm going to cleanse your palate a little bit. But first of all, thank you so much for allowing the National Council to come and celebrate with you all in your 100 years. What an honor. And it made perfect sense. This year I'm honoring Tom Mullica, Atlanta-based magician for many years, my all-time favorite performer. So thank you again for letting us be here. So I'm doing art, you said. So like we're gonna sit down for like 14 hours as I do like 25,000 lines. No, I'll do something quick. So my other life, believe it or not, I have a life outside of magic. And I work, don't go in front of the speaker, John. Hey, there we go. Stay behind the speaker. So my other job is I work essentially in psychiatry. I have a master's degree in social work. I work in a corporate office overseeing a bunch of psychiatric emergency crisis teams across the country. It's just kind of my bread and butter. And so just recently I started marrying my two worlds together. A little bit of magic with a little bit of my psychology in there. And so I just thought I'd bring and share with you something I do for some new students every now and then I get when I'm asked to speak. And so it's just an example in psychology. So you'll think it's kind of neat, but for you magicians, I got a twist in there for you to make it better. I'm going to shut this off and go closer. Is that cool? All right. Because you won't believe it up close. That's what I'm saying. Thanks. All right. So yeah, we'll do it close enough so everybody can see it. And I'm loud anyway. So, all right. So what I have here, oh, you guys are using my sleeves. All right. That's the first thing you're going to think. So I have 4 different faces here. And I shouldn't tell you, but one of the back of the cards has a different colored back than the other ones. And what I'm trying to do is essentially demonstrate conditioning, a Pavlovian response that we're familiar with. And as I move these around randomly, it seems random, but it's not. I'm actually trying to influence one of you to think of one of the suits more than the other ones. Actually, you, what's your first name? Debbie. Debbie, I have the spades, the clubs, the diamonds, the heart. Which suit sticks out in your mind more than any of the other ones? Heart. Yeah, out of that, why do you think heart is the one that stuck out in your mind? You're holding it separately. I was holding it separately, right? I'm allowing you to see it a little bit longer, and it's also the last thing I'm letting you see, right? So that all makes sense. So let's check the logic. So I've got 1, 2, an odd card, and that happens to be the Ace of Hearts.
Hey.
I get it. Neat. 1 out of 4. I get it. It's neat. So the magician aspect has to come in. So I got to be prepared for every scenario, right? So let's say you said the Ace of Diamonds. Now, if you said the Ace of Diamonds, I'd have 1, 2, an odd card, and now it would be the Ace of Diamonds. But I got to be prepared for every scenario, guys. So let's say you pick the Ace of Clubs. If you pick the Ace of Clubs, I'd have 1, 2, an odd card, and now it would be the Ace of Clubs. Oh no, I got to be prepared for every scenario. I don't know if you've heard this yet. So I got 1, 2, an odd card, and now it's the Ace of Spades. No. I got to be prepared for every scenario. So let's say I get somebody who's not familiar with cards, right? And then I might just have 1, 2, 3, 4 blue cards, right? Or maybe I get somebody who knows everything about cards, and then all of a sudden I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 red cards. But the hardest thing to do is if somebody's thinking of 2 suits and not the other 2 suits, will you hold your hand open for me? I have to show them I have 1 red, 2 red, 1 blue, 2 blue cards. And that's all I have. I'm John Midgely.
All right, that was quick. All right. It cleansing the palate. Tastes like cake. All right, guys. Well, we've reached towards the end of the show. And our last performer's setting everything up. I'll give them a few minutes. I hope you guys have had a good time. And of course, getting out of here is going to be probably not so bad. Thankfully, it didn't rain near as bad as I thought it was going to, as it was going to be called. So we lucked out on that. Man, I don't know what else to say other than, someone told me you're in charge of the 100th celebration, and I looked at him and went, dog, man, seriously? And it went the way it was going to. I thank everybody for their indulgence and their understanding. And boy, I hope you do have a great time here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
What else to say? Okay, well, I'm just saying. Oh, man. I'm charged because the man behind me, a legend, a solid performer, and I get to call him friend, Marc DeSouza!
Before we get started, I thought it might be a good idea to give you all an observation test. I do that for 2 reasons. Number one, can you hear me in the back?
Yes.
I'm not accustomed as I am to public speaking. So the first reason, many of you have never seen me perform before. You don't know the kind of magic I do, and the stuff I do is a little bit different than what you've seen already. So I'll give you a chance to see something done with a couple of simple objects, so it kind of acclimates you to the way I work and what you're in for the rest of the show. Number 2, more importantly to me, it lets me know just how closely you are observing and how hard I am going to have to work to deceive you. Kind of a win-win scenario in my book. So as I said, it involves two simple objects. The first is a coffee cup. Have a look at that if you would, please, Nadine. And I'm sorry, what is your name, ma'am? Audra? Atma. Very lovely. Little baseball. I used to play Little League. Have a look, check it out. The coffee cup, very special. This is a souvenir from a family trip we took a number of years ago on winter break. We went to Charleston, South Carolina, directly across from you, about 5 hours. And because we don't celebrate Christmas, we decided to drive home Christmas Day. Figured the roads will be empty. Wrong. Roads were packed with truckers. It was raining. And the only place to eat, the Waffle House. Learned a very important lesson that day. If the name of a food is in the name of the restaurant, that's the only thing you should be ordering. That hamburger. Big mistake. Yeah. So I bought this cup as a souvenir of just how bad food can be. Little vase will look good to you? Great, just drop it in there if you would, please. Now, as I said, it's a very, very simple thing. Actually, it's not even a magic trick. It's just a little game involving a little cup, a coffee cup, and a ball. Now, all you have to do is guess whether the ball's in my pocket or under the cup. That's all that's going to happen. You just need to guess whether the ball's under the cup or if it's in my pocket. Do we understand?
Yeah.
Great, let's get started. Okay, maybe that was a little quick. I'll tell you what, let's start over. Before we get started, I thought it might be a good idea to give you an observation. Okay, maybe not that far. Sir, right now, where is that ball?
It is on top or the bottom of that.
Ah, see? He's a magician, he knows. Because most people would say it's on top of the cup. To be more precise, on the top of the bottom of the cup is the real answer. See, we don't fool you by sleight of hand and sleight of mouth, but it works just the same. Now, some people think it's a trick cup, that it has a trap door in it. Yeah, of course, if it had a trap door, it would work both ways. There's some people that seem to think that I do this by using an extra ball. And in reality, that's exactly how this works. I use an extra ball. Of course, I don't know what that has to do with it because it's a completely different color. And there you have it, a little observation test. I think you all passed. Well, that's great. Thank you very much for having me here today. It is a pleasure to be here in Atlanta, Georgia, for such an auspicious occasion, the 100th anniversary of the ASM. And I find it so touching that some of the charter members are here with us here tonight. So what are you in for the rest of my show? Well, I do a bunch of different kinds of things. I do some sleight of hand, like I just did here. I show you some illusions. I do some psychological mysteries, and some things that I don't even understand myself. But I'll tell you, you're going to enjoy this all with me for the next 3 hours or so. So sit back, relax. Saw that guy's face. Overtime for the babysitter, and I don't think it's worth it. So, no, it won't be 3 hours. It'll just seem that way. So, as I said, I did sleight of hand. I'll show you an illusion. Who knows what an illusion is? Let's not keep singing the same hands over and over again. Yes, Carol, what is an illusion?
It's something that looks different from what it is.
Ah, okay. That's one example. You're referring to an optical illusion. I generally think of an illusion as being something that fools your senses, because there are different kinds of illusions. Different kinds of illusions that fool your different senses. So we're used to optical illusions which fool your eyes. In reality, that's not the case at all. The eyes are merely a receptor. It fools your brain. Same with all other illusions, like oral illusions, illusions of sound. Like the ventriloquist with the little doll, and he talks to the doll and it talks back. Spoiler alert, doll's not talking. And there's no Santa either. No, he's free. I know. No spoiler. So it's just creating the illusion. The animated object is talking back to it. But there's also illusions of touch, of smell, of taste, all kinds of illusions. But I will show you an optical illusion. It uses a die. It's a black die, kind of a two-dimensional die. It's got a 1 on this side, a 4 on this side, a 3 on this side, and a 6 on this side. I'll do that again just a little bit slower for you people that are, okay. It's got a 1 on this side, 1 on this side, 4 on this side, 3 on this side, 6 on this side. Now, of course, that's only 4 sides of the die that I've shown you, and you know that the die normally has 6 dies, so 6 sides, so there's a 2 on the other side of that, and of course on the other side of that is a 5. That's 6 sides of the die. But the great part about these dice is that you can also use them to play dominoes. Not as thrilling as I thought. No matter what game you play, you should have this great book. It's called How to Gamble. First thing they tell you in this book is that time is money. Oh, speaking of money, you got to make sure you have plenty of money with you to gamble. And if you have enough money to play, you can play a game of high-stakes blackjack. If you're going to play blackjack, the only thing I can do is wish you all good luck. Start the car. Oh, hey. Something a little different. I said psychological mysteries. I want to show you a psychological mystery. Before the show, I spoke to Cricket. And now we didn't plan anything other than what I'm going to tell everybody here right now. I asked Cricket, if she would, to please think of a fruit. Could have been any kind of fruit. She has that locked firmly in her mind. Is that correct? Yes. I told you not to write it down. I told you not to tell anybody. But you got a piece of fruit that's locked in your mind and your mind only. Inside that coffee cup, I will make that fruit magically appear. Done. Tell us for the first time, Cricket, what was the fruit that you are merely thinking of?
Apple.
What?
Apple.
Really? Serious? I thought for sure you were going to say lemon. But I did make a piece of fruit appear under the cup. That's not like chopped liver or anything. Come on. Yeah. All right. Well, that'll give me an opportunity to try a psychological experiment with all of you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Great. I'm going to ask you to kind of clear your mind. That was quick. I'm going to ask you, if you would, to imagine that you are in a lemon grove. It is a beautiful summer day. You're sitting on lush green grass surrounded by lemon trees. And on the ground all around you are lemons that have fallen from the trees. Fresh lemons. You pick one up. You squeeze it. Oh, it's so fresh. You smell it. Oh, you can smell the lemon zest. In fact, you reach in your pocket, you take out a knife, and you cut into that lemon. And the juice rolls down your arm, and you taste it. Ooh, that's so sour. How many of you actually experienced some of those senses? Show of hands. Great, great. That was me influencing you. That was me creating an illusion. Because there was never a knife. That was always a fork. And there was never a lemon. That was always a little piece of paper. A little piece of paper that has something written on it. Because I would hate to disappoint you by not fulfilling my obligations of deceiving you all as best I can. Well, all good things must come to an end. This one is so-so, so it'll go on a minute longer. Again, I would like to thank you for being a wonderful audience. It's been a wonderful time here in Atlanta for us. And I thought I'd show you something a little different. You know, magicians never give away their secrets, and there's a reason for that. First of all, it is number one on the list of the Code of Ethics. And I was the chairman of the Code of Ethics for the SAM for 10 years. So I'm very, very, very aware of adhering to that. We will not expose magic. We don't tell people how tricks work. Now, it's not like these secrets are so important that they will destroy the balance of power on the earth if you know how these things are done. It's just that this is kind of our brand of entertainment. It's our way of entertaining you through mystery. And if you know how these things work, they're not nearly as much fun. Also, the fact is that most of these secrets are so simple that when you hear how they work, you go, ooh, that's so simple. Now I feel stupid. That's why we don't tell you, because we don't want you to feel stupid. Okay, you're not buying this. Tell you what, I will show you something that's not a magic trick. This is something I found in a 17th century book on physics. Now, it said if you take a crystal vessel, now I use this plastic cup because I get a little clumsy. And if you fill it with a strange liquid concoction, I have it right here, it's called H2O. And this is my favorite part of the show because I get to drink to your health, and it's the ASM. It's my favorite part of the show because I lied, it's vodka. Oh, just kidding. And it further says in the book, if you take a piece of parchment, and I use this piece of notepaper, and you dampen it with that same liquid and place it over the mouth of the glass, you can reverse the position of your hands, remove your hand, and the paper and the liquid stay suspended within. Wow. I agree, but who are we against so many? Thank you, Daryl. This is two scientific principles at work. Equidistant air pressure both inside and outside of the drinking vessel, combined with a viscous solution around the mouth of the glass. That causes the paper to cling and keeps the water inside. That's science. That's magic. And that's it. Once again, thank you all for being such a great audience. Hope you have a great rest of the day.
So, my performers, I've got. Wait, here we go. Are we ready? All right. So I've got.
He's coming around.
Zaritsky. John Midgely. I'm your host, Murl Harmon. And that's our show for the night. Take your pictures. Guys, I am out of here. I'm going to go home and curl up into the fetal position. You did a great job. No, seriously, from the bottom of my heart. Man, thank you. You guys rock.
Well, it's and then we have your house. If any of the indie people want to, we got. Oh.